Every motivation guru tells you to wake up at 4 a.m. They're wrong. And the science proves that blindly copying this habit can actually destroy your performance. The truth is more chilling than you think. Sleep researcher Matthew Walker found that adults who consistently get less than 7 hours of sleep have 12% higher mortality rates. Their testosterone drops. Their immune system weakens. Their decision-making becomes equivalent to being legally drunk. The 4 a.m. club works for people who go to sleep at 8 p.m. That means no social life, no evening events, and no flexibility. Most people who adopt it just lose 2 hours of sleep because they can't fall asleep by 8. Does that sound right to you? What actually works is consistent sleep timing and protecting your first 90 minutes after waking. That's when cortisol peaks naturally. Use it for your hardest task. Not scrolling. Not coffee. Deep work. Tim Cook wakes at 3:45. Jeff Bezos sleeps until 7 and prioritizes 8 hours. Both built $100 billion companies. The time you wake up is irrelevant. What you do when you're awake is everything. Stop copying other people's schedules. Build your own system around your own biology. Subscribe if you want real strategies, not motivational theater. If you improve by just 1% every single day, you'll be 37 times better in 1 year. The math is real, but there's a catch nobody talks about. The truth is more chilling than you think. James Clear popularized the concept in Atomic Habits. 1.01 to the power of 365 equals 37.78. Meanwhile, getting 1% worse daily gives you 0.03. Almost zero. The math proves that small, consistent improvements create massive outcomes. But most people misuse this concept. They try to improve everything at once. They add new habits while maintaining 0 existing systems. Improvement without measurement is just hope with extra steps. Ever wonder why? This is where it gets real. The British cycling team went from 0 Olympic golds in 100 years to dominating the sport in 5 years. Their coach Dave Brailsford improved everything by 1%. Seat ergonomics, pillow quality, hand washing technique to reduce illness. Each one tiny. Together, unstoppable. The key insight is that 1% improvements must be applied to the bottleneck, not to random areas. If your diet is the limiting factor, improving your workout routine by 1% does nothing. Find a constraint. Fix the constraint. Repeat. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year. 365 days of 1% improvement doesn't feel like 37x. It feels boring. It feels slow. That's how you know it's working. 37 times better in 12 months. Not by grinding harder, by getting 1% smarter every day. Subscribe if compounding interests you. Everyone says cold showers build discipline and burn fat. The actual research says something different, and it might change how you start your mornings. The truth is more chilling than you think. The cold shower trend exploded after Wim Hof and Andrew Huberman promoted cold exposure. The claimed benefits include increased dopamine, reduced inflammation, improved immunity, and enhanced fat loss. Huberman cited a study showing a 250% increase in dopamine after cold water exposure. That's real, but the study used water at 57 degrees Fahrenheit, not ice baths. A cool shower produces a fraction of that effect. What would you have done? This is where it gets real. For fat loss, cold exposure does activate brown fat, but the caloric burn is approximately 15 extra calories per session. You'd burn more energy walking to your car. The fat loss claim is technically true, but practically meaningless. What cold showers actually do well is train your stress response. The cold triggers a fight or flight reaction. Repeatedly choosing to stay in that discomfort builds genuine stress tolerance. That's real and measurable. The best approach from the research is ending a warm shower with 30 to 90 seconds of cold water. You get the stress adaptation benefits without the cortisol spike from starting cold, which can actually impair recovery if you just trained. Cold showers aren't useless, but they're not magic either. Subscribe if you want evidence-based strategies over internet trends. Discipline isn't about willpower. Neuroscience proved that willpower is a finite resource that depletes throughout the day. The people who look disciplined are actually using a completely different system. What followed was devastating. Roy Baumeister's research at Florida State showed that willpower works like a muscle. It fatigues with use. Making decisions, resisting temptation, and forcing focus all draw from the same limited pool. By evening, Most people have nothing left. People who appear highly disciplined don't use more willpower. They use less. They structure their environment so the right behavior is the easiest behavior. They don't resist temptation. They remove it. Think about that for a second. This is the piece that connects it all. When researchers studied people who scored high on self-control surveys, they found something counterintuitive. These people reported fewer temptations, not more resistance. They designed their lives to avoid the situations where discipline would be needed. The three practical tools are environment design, identity alignment, and default behaviors. Remove your phone from the bedroom. Call yourself a person who trains, not someone who is trying to work out. Automate the first step. James Clear found that people who said, "I don't eat junk food," had 80% higher success rates than people who said, "I can't eat junk food." One is identity. The other is deprivation. Your brain fights deprivation. It follows identity. Stop trying to white-knuckle your way through life. Build the system instead. Subscribe if building real systems beats chasing motivation. Eye contact means nothing. Liars practice staring in the mirror. If you want to read someone instantly, look down. The truth is more chilling than you think. Most people obsess over facial expressions. They memorize but they completely forget to control their foundation. When someone speaks to you, check their stance. If their chest faces you, but their toes point toward the door, what would you have done? Now you see why this changes everything. They're already gone. They are hiding something, feeling anxious or desperate to escape your presence. But if their feet are planted firmly, pointing directly at your center, they're fully engaged. They either respect you or they are challenging you. The upper body tells you what they want you to believe. The feet reveal exactly what they fear. Stop watching their lips. Watch their foundation. Subscribe if down. Stories like this keep you thinking to Iron Body. Stop flushing your gains down the toilet. The 30-gram protein limit is a complete lie. And what happened next is genuinely disturbing. Bro science tells you that if you eat 60 grams of meat, your body just wastes half of it. Absolute garbage. Your digestive system isn't on a strict hourly schedule. It literally slows down digestion to absorb whatever you feed it. What would you have done? Modern clinical trials prove that eating 100 grams of protein in one massive sitting drives muscle growth just as effectively.
Stop watching the clock. Eat the massive steak.
Your dopamine detox is a joke. You don't need another planner. You need pain. And what happened next is genuinely disturbing. Productivity hacks are just socially acceptable procrastination. You're tricking yourself into feeling busy while avoiding the actual work. Sound familiar? The ugly truth? You don't lack focus. You lack consequence. Your life is too comfortable, so inaction costs you absolutely nothing. This is the piece that connects it all. Want to cure procrastination instantly? Stop watching morning routine videos and manufacture immediate danger. Hand a friend $500. Tell them they keep it if your work isn't done by 5 p.m. Watch how fast your so-called brain fog vanishes. Action is not born from motivation. It is forged in necessity. Subscribe if weak stories like this keep you thinking to Iron Body. Motivation is a myth. Consequence is king. You think emotional intelligence makes you soft? Wrong. It is the ultimate weapon for control. And what happened next is genuinely disturbing. Weak men react. Someone disrespects them. They snap. They're completely enslaved by their own impulses. True emotional intelligence is putting a leash on that beast. You still feel the anger, but you dictate the response. Does that sound right to you? And this is exactly why it matters. And empathy? It is not about holding hands. It is tactical data gathering. You read the room to dictate the outcome. If a minor inconvenience ruins your day, you are fragile. An iron body means absolutely nothing if you have a glass mind. Master your emotions, or your enemies will use them to master you. Subscribe if weapon stories like this keep you thinking to Iron Body. Rule yourself first. The biggest lie you've been told about champions? But they love the grind. What followed was devastating. Amateurs think success is a hype montage. Champions know it's the ability to endure extreme boredom. You wait for motivation. They execute the exact same monotonous routine, whether they feel like it or not. Does that sound right to you? Now you see why this changes everything. The gold medalist hates waking up at 4 a.m. just as much as you do.